Is it recording? It looks like it is. Good. Hello again to the second episode of I Messed Up the Papers, Please recording and have to redo the audio. This is number 12, and as we have seen last time, all collections had to be searched and they didn't like it. Apparently they complained, and now we have to... now we get the rules redone to some extent. So now we don't have to search all collections anymore. We'll get the usual letter at the beginning of the thing, the day, sorry. There we go. A diplomat will arrive and automatic searches are no longer authorized. It's always important to check this letter at the beginning of the day because it features your new rules, and also we got new documents. Now we have diplomats which don't require the entry permit. But they only have to have this authorization. You have to check the seal, which sadly has to be done in the regional map. So you have to check the original thing and then you can compare the seals. So that's a bit annoying because you have to check that. Yeah, the document must have a seal, and sometimes there are forged seals. They're a bit harder to discover, at least for me, because I usually don't check the seals too often, because in the passport they are generally true, they're generally authentic. So the passport itself, or seal-wise, seems never to be faked, never to be forged. The forgery is always determined by the rest, by something like the issuing city or the date of expiry or something, and never the seal that's on it. Obviously there's entry tickets, which yeah, I'm not sure who this is. I'm currently... Oh, right, Yori! He's fun. And I like how he's never mad at you. Or at least he never seems to be. Even if you actually get him detained. Okay, papers please. There he is. He's the only really fun character in the game. And I don't think they're overdoing him. Although there's one thing I find weird, and that's the kind of strange grammar at times. Also, those are really weird changed names, because they have like one letter changed, and why would you have that name? Why would you change one letter in your name and have that recorded as your alias? Except to piss off border inspectors. Oh, the EZIC Star guys. The order awaits. Yeah, thank you. I think I should have turned that over actually. Just saw that. I don't think I noticed it last time. Yeah. Not sure if I turned it over in this recording. There is a message at the back side of that. The order usually gives you something like that to deal with. And something else you might notice is that the days actually get longer. So for the first day, in which we only had to reject everything not Ostotscan and allow every Ostotscan in, at that point we had like 5 real minutes per work day, and I think you go up to 10 or more, because as you have to check more things, the game also gives you more time, because it would be pretty unfair if you only had 5 minutes and still have the same amount of travelers to get done. Just because it takes more than twice as long to check a work pass and an entry permit and the passport and everything, instead of just seeing, okay, passport is not Ostotskan, deny. Oh, this guy. Haha, yeah. Corman Drax. I think it's the. Do you just have to give it? I'm not sure. I think. Yeah, I think I just missed the first message. Not sure what it was. I might end up checking it, but probably not. So he gives you that. There is a second part to this, and you can allow him in. He's actually the only cultist you can allow in. If you, they usually have kind of, they usually have some kind of discrepancy. So all the other cultists are actually not supposed to be let in, and you have to decide on whether you want to kind of serve the cult by allowing them in or just well denying them and doing what you're supposed to do. So yeah, I also find this entire audio thing a bit weird, where they just give you the purpose of that trip and then they, well, then they just say, okay, yeah, that does match. I was totally doing something else here. Yes, looking at you, traveler, I just let through. So yeah. um, I don't think we got another. Alright, we got the diplomatic thing today. There will be even more rules we have to adhere to. And the Arstotzkan admission policy is kind of weird. It keeps changing and they keep refining it, much to the dismay of poor board officers. But what can you do? And your task just keeps getting more complicated, and it's not bad. Except if you kind of don't play for a while, which I did in the episode 7. Because I recorded those before the exam, and the exam is over now. I might have passed. I'm still waiting for the results. But it is where if you kind of lose touch for a while and then get into it at the more complex point, you will have a bit of trouble getting used to it, and you will have a day or two where you just can't get that many people done because you kind of lost your routine. It's one of those games where you have to really get into a routine. You have to find out your own way of doing it, and that. Also, we got one of the most useful upgrades here, the tab key to use the stamp bar. It's something that saves you another second or so of moving the mouse over the screen. So it's nothing that really changes the game, but it's something that you get used to, especially if you have it. And it's something I frequently use. I actually have, when I play Papers, Please, I have I have my thumb at the space button, and I think I have my ring finger on tab. So I have that easily done. And yeah. Also, that newspaper thing is going to affect us. As you can see here, we have to save the arse of that spy. Guess how much they are paying us for that? If you guessed nothing, you are right. They are not. Even though I think espionage is one of the things that are said to be highly yeah, this guy. It's one of the things where money doesn't really matter. Anyway, this guy. I'm not sure what this is. Alright, I think it's the... Yeah, that's the guard that changes your playstyle for a bit. He gets a bonus when you detain people. And so basically he gives me a bit of his bonus for every two people we detain. So we get 5 credits for two detainments, which now makes the game, or which now makes us, not sure. I think this actually changes the way I looked at detaining, because right now detaining was just a way to say, okay, you're an ass, you tried to sneak into the country and you should get punished. And now it is actually a way to ensure, to assist you with paying your family. And that's what makes it much better. It makes it much more tempting to just detain people than to just deny them and send them on their way back, which you may very well do. If there is a discrepancy with their documents, you can just hit the red stamp and that's it. But you can detain them, and you get you kind of get more payment because if you detain them, it counts as a processed traveler and as a detainment, so you get money out of it. You get more money out of it than you just get for processing this person. I also love this slip of paper you get for just for the red stamp. Yeah, it's always hilarious that they give you something like that. I was oh, okay. That's the spy. Um, okay, do not mix them up. Well, you could have made the envelopes look different. Anyway, I think we have the left side is the authentic documents, the other side are the others, right? Uh, that's a shame I can't see that bit of the screen on this window because I'm still doing this in my I'm watching the video in my editing program, and for some reason because Papers, Please is on a kind of wide screen, it doesn't show everything. So I can't see how far the picture has changed because that's the bit I don't see, but those excuses are kind of weird. Especially there's one guy who says the years have been cruel and he's actually considerably more weighing considerably more than he had on the picture. And I think you can say the years have been cruel if you weigh less than before, but if you have grown fat, the years are certainly not quite cruel. Except if you found a loving wife who cooks awesomely and who just overfeeds you, which might be kind of cruel, and who forces you to eat. But I think that's pretty rare. So the years aren't that cruel when you grow fat. Although you may disagree with that, uh, feel free to leave a comment. It's probably not a thing I would like to discuss too much, so yeah, he gives us 10 credits, and he gets that envelope, which was the fake one, I think. But we got 10 credits for that, so we did get paid in the end, but I don't think 10 credits is much. Yay, an expired document. Expired documents are pretty fun if you see them in time, and it's also one of the things I keep missing at some point. Because you just don't check the date every time, or you think, okay, it matches, especially if you play the unlimited mode a lot, which I have done in the very first Papers, Please video I recorded. Because the date is, I think, the 6th or 3rd of January in 1983, so everything that's 1982 is generally can be disregarded, and anything past that is, well, it's a bit easier because everything that is in 1982, and there are quite a lot of documents that have expired in 1982, can be red stamped immediately. Whereas this actually requires you to check the date, and I just forget it at sometimes. Especially if you had it matching 4, 5, or 10 times, and then you forget to check it, and then it matches for another 2 or 3 times, and you keep ignoring it, and then boom, you approve someone and you get the citation. That's always one of the things that get me. I have a few things that I just keep forgetting to check. Sometimes it gets really obvious, like you have the wrong. They clearly have the wrong picture, and it's you just don't see it, and you just miss it. That's kind of fun. Yeah, Ostotska welcomes you. That's kind of ironic to say when they just drag someone out of here. Anyway, um, and I've watched quite a few Let's Plays for Papers, Please uh, before I recorded my own. So um, when you watch this in a Let's Play, it is quite obvious. You think, oh my, he has to see that. It's just so clear to see. And but when you talk while you play, and when you talk about something else while you play, it really is hard to see, and you just miss a few things. It just happens. So even if you sit there cringing because something was clearly forged and you see it, I'm sorry, but I just missed it. But that's probably the fun of the game. It is a terribly ugly woman. No, the game is not a terribly ugly woman, but this woman is probably not very female. Anyway, I think it's one of the most interesting aspects of the game, that it is both unforgiving and yeah, it's right. I mean, you do have the chance. It is fair. You had the chance to see it. It's not like it tried to hide it or something. You had a chance to see whatever was wrong with the passport, but you didn't. And it just points you at this and says, okay, yeah, look at that. You missed that. And you think, okay, yeah, I clearly did. I mean, I'm recording now, so I could actually look back, but it never is unfair, so it doesn't like change it afterwards. And that is just amazing. I'm still not sure what the contraband here was, but there are pretty nasty things that people tape to themselves. Anyway, this video is pretty much over, so uh, I'm recording one more, and then that's it for today. I'll see you next time. Bye. No, I think I still have a few seconds. Yeah, that's the thing you get when you do this quest. Right, creature cleans house and attacks its own. Anyway, until next time.